Welcome back. Week 2 breakdown. I said coming soon. So it is currently 7:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to work in 49 minutes. But what I can do in that time is talk to you about week 2 and how boned I thought I was into this matchup. CIQ and the Curse of the Blind Fish, I now understand his username on Showdown being Blindfish PTSD. A couple overheat misses were not great, so I do apologize for that. There was some luck involved in our game, and to be straight up, I should have lost that, but we'll get there when we get there. So week 2 versus the Chillin' Chespins, it was an interesting matchup for me, because I'm the slowest team in the league by far. And CIQ is the second, arguably the first, because I do believe his fastest Pokemon is Lander. I want to say it's Landorus. Just off the top of my head, I want to say it's Landorus. I'd Mega Manectric. My new GOAT came in and carried this game so fucking hard. Also, shout out to Pigeons. This matchup was very simple on paper. As you can tell, this is a stall team. Why you come to draft and pick a stall team? Hey man, everybody has their own play style. Some are just stall. But yeah, this matchup was a tough one for me on paper because of the fish, because a lot of my answers into a lot of his other threatening Pokemon were hard checked by the fish. I was getting to the point with the fish where I was like, okay, Pigeons, what about Rain Dance Meowstic? Meowstic did not make it to the final team. Thank you, Pigeons, for talking some sense into me and showing me the better way to do this. So yeah, main threats were Lando, Clef, like his entire team was a threat to mine. Minus like Blissey, because I have so many physical nukes, and what was Tattoo Geary doing here realistically? The answer is nothing. I was really scared of Dondozo coming into this matchup because I have so many physical attackers. I was going to have to keep Mega Manectric alive to deal with it even slightly. But my opponent opted to bring Lando, Clef, Scizor, Slowking, Chi-Yu, and Annihilate. No Dondozo, no Rotom. Rotom gave me so many issues in this matchup. I was a little surprised as to why he didn't bring it. Maybe it was because of just it didn't do enough in the matchup for him. But I really think if he would have brought Rotom, because like his hazard removal is a little It's like Scizor with Defog, Lando Defog, but you really don't. If you're putting Defog on your Mega Scizor, then you're wasting one of its move slots, which is just not great. You know, we can use it to hit something or to recover, right? Lando, Defog, it depends. He kind of wanted. I think he'd want Rocks up against my team because he's playing Stall, right? The thing is with Stall is that you make the game go as long as possible. So like Slowking and then Clefable doing their thing to stay alive as long as possible. But I think CIQ kind of misread my team because that Clefable that he had was Spadef as fuck. I just have a feeling it was Spadef. Which I understand to an extent into this team. But when you look at the things that are the big, I'm gonna kill you, it's Ursaluna and Urshifu, the two bears. And those are physical threats and very easily walled by Clefable if it was Fizdef. Because, like, Spadef, into my team isn't the greatest, you know? I don't really have that many special threats, which will come back to bite me at some point. But not this week, baby! Well, I guess Mega Manectric is a special threat, but it is kind of one note. And with Hidden Power being allowed, it's like a locked in that I'm bringing Hidden Power Ice every week. So yeah. So here was my solution to this. Scarf Tapu Fini with exactly 56 speed would outspeed Chi-Yu every time. I was able to go Modest. I largely attribute me winning it all to this Tapu Fini. I wish I would have known CIQ sets. He didn't post them after the game. Just to kind of see what his plan was into me. So yeah, we had Tapu Fini. It was Scarf. It kind of just hit everything really hard, and it had Trick on as the last move slot. I decided to go with that instead of HP Fire as like a way to cripple Clef or Slowking or Blissey or Dondozo. Literally like half the Pokemon he brought, and then like maybe Annihilate, right? Because if Annihilate got tricked, that would have been pretty bad. So yeah, Annihilate was a huge threat there. Celesteela here, pretty standard, just more Spadef. It's been like 2 weeks since or a week-ish since I finished prepping for this. So I don't really remember exactly why I EV'd this way. It's probably to live something, or just because I liked the numbers that it rounded out to. Heavy Slam for Clef, Leech Seed for the Dondozo 1v1, Flamethrower, and Protect. Flamethrower to hit Scizor. I had an argument for Rocky Helmet on Celesteela, but Pigeons made a good point that Leftovers would probably just be better in the long run. Ursaluna. Like I said, it's one of those Pokemon that you are always forced to prep for, and if you don't, it will hurt, or you have to play around it when you see it, and you just have to understand that if this thing gets free turns, it's killing you. This game, it did nothing. It ate 2 Chi-Yu Flamethrowers for one of my Pokemon to get a clean switch in. But just the sheer pressure that this thing put on, I was Assault Vest Guts, because I'm playing Stall, so why not go all in on getting Toxic to kind of play into it? And like if I get Toxic, if I get poisoned, or if I get burned or something, which granted he's never clicking Will-O-Wisp, but like he could have with like say he brought Rotom and he like sees Urshifu and he's gonna like, okay, I'm gonna click Will-O-Wisp, and then I switch in Ursaluna. Right, that's fucking huge. Things are going to die, but obviously I didn't want to hinge on it too much. Bulletproof just wasn't very good into this matchup, so I was like, sure, Guts, it'd be funny. Adamant just made some nice even numbers on the defense and special defense. 252 attack, Adamant. This team was not about going fast. I did not need to outspeed my opponent. I just needed to kill my opponent as quickly as possible. Pigeons told me something a little bit before the match that really kind of stuck with me, which is Stall likes having time. So play to your win cons and don't give them time. And I think my team did a great job at not giving him free time to just kind of Toxic and get in Regenerator value. It was just straight hands the entire match. Mega Manectric, enough speed to outspeed max speed non-Scarf Chi-Yu, because if he was Scarf Chi-Yu, that's kind of lost, just outright. 164 HP, 252 special attack, modest, like all that shit. Like that's just Thunderbolt, HP Ice, Flamethrower, Volt Switch, right? Hits everything on his team. Scizor dies. Clef, like it's Spadef, so it'd eat a few. Probably my personal favorite bring. It didn't get to do anything in this matchup, let me add. But God, did it feel good just leading fucking Bandit, Adamant, Urshifu. With enough speed to outspeed. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like a fast Annihilate or like max speed Annihilate. I don't remember. Pigeons would know. If he sees this video, he can leave it in the comments as to what that 208 outsped. So yeah, just Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Iron Head, U-Turn. Very standard set. You'd see this a lot in the Isle of Armor like DLC, right? Like this was the set that you saw running around, either Bandit or Scarfed. And it just put so much pressure on against this team. Because, like, it always forced out Lando, which is awesome for me to capitalize on. Because, like, Scizor was not living, two close combats, I think. Slowking did not want to eat a Wicked Blow. Chi-Yu dies. Annihilate doesn't want to eat a Wicked Blow. This entire match, I was trying to figure out how to not hit Annihilate, so that way I didn't have to start eating Rage Fists. Because I could take Drain Punch that he had on his, like, sets, but I could not take anything else. And then last, Fairthorn, higher defense to just kind of fight Scizor. I EV'd it to like special attack to live like it lived something here, something threatening. I think it was like an HP fire from Clef. But yeah, it was an interesting set. And Fairthorn is the reason I won the game, just outright. Because it was, Pigeons and I discussed that it'd probably be best to get Hazards up, but I wasn't going to lead Hazards because that's too free for my opponent. because like if I lead Ferrothorn, then cool, I get Stealth Rocks up, but then I have to deal with Chi-Yu, and my team didn't want to start throwing away Mons to Chi-Yu just yet. So yeah, that was the main threat there was Chi-Yu. That was the hardest thing I had to deal with because the everything else on his team is like so manageable for mine except Chi-Yu because Fire and Dark are just really strong typings into my team. I'm figuring out every time I look at a sheet and go, Roaring Moon, okay. So yeah, that was kind of it. Just a fair standard body press, spikes, stealth rock, knockoff. Body press was to hit Chi-Yu, to be quite frank, and then knockoff was to just kind of spam that. I'm pretty sure CIQ's Chi-Yu was specs as hell, just the way he was playing it, because he knew he didn't need to bring Scarf into my team. It would be overkill. And the only thing that would outspeed it is like Victini, and why would I bring in Victini against that damn thing? So yeah, that's just kind of the team we were working with. So yeah, we'll get into this game. Turn 1 was huge. So I lead Urshifu. He leads Scizor. I do close combat for 75. He does close combat for 100. I made a bad call. Really bad call and went, he is most definitely not, he's going to be like dual wing beat or bullet punch, or like he's going to be like SD. I thought it was going to be like SD, bullet punch, toxic, and then like U-turn. That's a set I've seen a lot. It's pretty good for cleaning up late game. You just click an SD when all the special threats are gone or everything that can click a fire move is gone, and you just set up. So yeah, that one was kind of embarrassing. My boy Garp, the Urshifu, just got murdered. So yeah, I go out into Manectric. As he goes out into Manectric, or as I go out into Manectric, he goes out to Slowking. I click Volt Switch into it, Ursaluna. He goes. I get red on the Earthquake, but I had to just kind of keep up the pressure. If I didn't, it was going to lead to issues later. Like I couldn't be playing easy into this. I just had to like hard read, and like I said, don't give this opponent time. If he was like, he's gonna predict that I'm gonna switch, I'll stay in and do this. Nope, had to cover my bases. I think it was better to, with the Earthquake on the chance that he went out into Landorus, than it was to click return and him not go into Landorus, because then Slowking probably would have killed back with Ice Beam, or it would have gotten a Toxic off, which would have been great for me, but then I have to play the read game. His team made it very difficult for Ursaluna to just kind of click buttons as long as he had Annihilate and Landorus alive. So yeah, that was that. So I hard switch out into Celesteela. Landorus uses U-turn, goes out to Chi-Yu. I protect to just kind of figure out what he's doing. It's an overheat. Go out into Tapu Fini here. He uses overheat. This overheat mist really didn't matter, like, just in my opinion, because, like, Tapu Fini would have survived it, and then it would have got to do its thing against, what's it called? Annihilate later. Tapu Fini is a big reason why I didn't lose this matchup. So then he goes out into Slowking, I click Scald, I go out into Ursaluna, he uses Future Sight. I use Return into the Annihilate, so that I hard switch Ferrothorn, and then Annihilate clicks Bulk Up. And I remember actively, like, turning to my boyfriend who was in the room at the time, and I go, it is so Jover. It's over, I'm done, I lose. But I said, fuck it, I'm not going to give up just yet. And this is where my opponent really started to confuse me. Because I think a +1 Annihilate genuinely tore through my entire team as long as it was able to live. So letting me hazard stack here, right? For the next few turns, bulk up, stealth rock, bulk up, spikes. You didn't need that many bulk ups. You needed 2 at max. And then boom, bulk up, spikes, and then drain punch into me while at full health. So you gained health. Well, you didn't even gain health. You lost health into that, and it left you weaker. Which, like, hindsight's 20/20, but, like, why bulk up so many times when you knew you killed? You knew you killed. So I'm just confused. Why? I mean, like Celesteela, but you didn't. With the state that your team was in at that time, you could have dealt with Celesteela. I hard switch it, and then you save Annihilate for later, or like eat a hit or two to get Rage Fist up, and then Celesteela can no longer effectively wall you. So yeah, I was just a little confused on that play. Why you bulk up so many times. Like, I understand it was important to your game plan and you were going for game, and I understand the mindset looking back on it that you were like, okay, I'm going to win this game here and now. But I feel like you should have killed once you saw me setting up hazards. Because you did not have the win fully secured. You did not have enough information to rightfully say, like, oh, I'm going to go for game. Like, Fini fucked you up. I feel like that put a major dent in your plans. Like, oh, you lived one Thunderbolt for Mega Manectric, but you were not expecting, like, you didn't have enough information to fully say, yeah, I'll win. Which is understandable. You were making the play that won you the game in that moment, and I understand. And nobody's expecting Fini. Like, that was my whole surprise for this match. And it actually did come in. Like, for example, my matchup versus Psy Guy, I brought Psycha Mega Altaria. I try and always bring, like, one fun thing that might not come up, but it does. And Fini was going to come up 100 times out of 100, because if it got a surprise attack off, something was dying. And Annihilate didn't fully die to a modest Moonblast, so that told me he was the death and HP, which is my favorite way to IV or EV a Pokemon, is you just kind of min-maxing it is like, eh. But, like, when you, like, take Pokemon, like, for example, Ursaluna with bad special defense, and you shore up that shit, you don't even need to invest in attack. Especially if you're setting up. Yeah, you don't need to at all. You just kind of focus on doing your thing. So, yeah, Drain Punch, you took Chip that you didn't need to there, realistically, off of that, off the Iron Barbs. Like, you were at full HP, so the Drain Punch did nothing but hurt you. So then, boom, Tapu Fini, Moonblast, Gunk Shot into me. Yeah, obviously that was going to kill. Cool tech choice, cool move to take care of Fini. I think at that point, though, you didn't have to risk Gunk Shot. I think you could have clicked any other move. But cool that you hit it. I'm glad that you hit it. If you would have missed it, I would have felt really bad. Granted, I would have felt really good that Tapu Fini got more kills. But yeah, no, that's fine. So then Tapu Fini goes down here. It did 71% to Annihilate, which elects Mega Manectric clean with a Thunderbolt. Annihilate dies. Goes out to Slowking. I Volt Switch. Celesteela. Future Sight. Leech Seed. Flamethrower does 30%. So unless he got a burn off, which he wasn't going to do off a Flamethrower, I knew that I reliably checked this thing. Slowking can be a nasty Pokemon to deal with, especially if you're like dealing with I want to say in this matchup, Assault Vest into me isn't particularly amazing, but I don't know what set he had. I really wish I would have known, because Slowking could have done something, like if it was like the Calm Mind, or I think it gets Nasty Plot. I'm like 90% sure it gets Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot right here would have fucked me up, just outright. Like, and this team Nasty Plot, like, it just fucking cooked me, because if you got a Nasty Plot that was doing 60, I could no longer reliably outstall you. It was killing most everything that was alive at this point. I think at this point in the game, I was down to Celesteela, Ursaluna, and Manectric here. So I was just trying to play around that. Flamethrower again to whittle me down a little bit. He sends out CIQ, gets it with stealth, a set of stealth rocks and 3 layers of spikes. Why in this matchup you did not decide to give any of your Pokemon heavy duty boots is beyond me. I think Clef did. But with my team on paper, right, like, I am so threatening on hazards. Claydol, Meowstic with Prankster, every hazard. Ferrothorn, you know, it's something you have to respect, is the amount of hazards that my team is able to produce. I don't have a great way of clearing them without having to take out my own, other than, like, Claydol. But that's besides the point here. So then, like, CIQ eats a Heavy Slam, I eat the Future Sight, I use Protect, eat a Flamethrower. This is where I kind of knew he was Specs, because he just kept clicking Flamethrower into me. So I go Ursaluna, it takes 53, then it takes 48, and then I go Mega Manectric, Thunderbolt, boom, dead. Volt Switch out into Celesteela, Wish, Protect, I click Leech Seed. He goes out to Lando, I click Heavy Slam, Stealth Rock, Leech Seed. He clicks Knockoff, I click Flamethrower, he goes out to Mega Scizor, dies to Spikes, which, with Celesteela alive, it was kind of pointless to just do anything with Mega Scizor at that point. It didn't do anything for you, but just die to Mega Manectric. So cool, you let that come in. Scizor got a, or not Scizor, Ferrothorn got a kill. Let's go. Um, so yeah, Lando here, out. I click Flamethrower. Scizor's not there. Slowking, Leech Seed, Flamethrower, Protect, Flamethrower, Heavy Slam. I killed Slowking. This is where I disagree with how my opponent played. He just said, yeah, I lose. Which I don't agree with. In the spot you were in, you could have taken it back depending on your set, and I still had to play to the best of my ability to not lose, because I was still only having a Celesteela and a Manectric, and that could have given me a lot of issues into a stored power Clefable, like Cosmic Power. Like, if you were to click that move, then it's like, oh shit, I effectively lose any and all means of really dealing with this guy. And you could have played the long game. But maybe that wasn't your set. And I just disagree with you purposefully throwing. It looks like here, right, you clicked Earthquake. I still think you had an out, man. I think it would have been, like, I understand being frustrated, but at the same time, like, why would you click Earthquake there? I was never going Manectric into Lando. In my own right, I would have thrown. This was such a winnable game for you. You just made, like, a couple of key things. Like, I should have lost this game 100 times out of 100. I just don't know why you click so many bulk ups. That's why I kind of wish to, like, see your team and have, like, a little bit of a discussion after the game. Because, like, I was interested to see why you felt bulk up was the play there, because, like, I know you're a good player. I've heard good things about you. You've won a few seasons, or won a couple seasons, or made it consistently to finals, which, like, you're a good player. So then maybe there's something I'm missing because I'm inexperienced and not as good. As to why you click so many bulk ups, I'm genuinely curious as to what the play was there, because granted, you were never expecting Scar Fini, but, like, if I wasn't Scar Fini, I do think you won on the spot. Because you would have eaten one for Manectric, and then it would have been a downhill thing from there. So I kind of see it. I kind of understand why. I just feel like it was kind of... I guess in Pokemon, it doesn't matter when the time is. You can always go for a game-ending play just whenever, as seen by some of the 6-0s that have happened this season. Moonblast, Leech Seed, kind of the trade-off here. Mega Manectric, Wish. I switched out here to just guarantee that Celesteela stayed healthy against the Clefable, just in case there was anything fucky going on. So yeah, I didn't know Clefable was unaware, really. I think I did. I just wasn't paying attention to it. But yeah, Thunderbolt into Clef for the win. I did not want to risk losing to that Clefable, so I kept my Celesteela healthy. But yeah, I really just did not give this guy time to breathe. It was just... I don't think there was a single turn this game that I played super defensively. I think everything that I did was as offensive as I could possibly be. And I think that's what ultimately gave me the win, is my opponent thinking that he won on the spot with Annihilate. And I think the more I talk about it, the more I kind of see where your point is coming from as to why you thought you'd win there instantly. And on paper, like, who is crazy enough to bring Scarf Tapu Fini other than myself? But yeah, no, it was a fun game. It really made me think. It made me respect Chi-Yu. Playing against this Chi-Yu made me feel bad for my opponents who have to look down Ursaluna or Shifu. Because I really had to respect that Chi-Yu the entire game. There's just not a time that I could give it free turns. Because realistically, my plan for Chi-Yu was to outspeed it and kill it. But I think I just got enough chip off through some other events, like that Heavy Slam into it coming in on Spikes and Stealth Rock, and then Mega Manectric being able to clean it up there. I also don't understand why you... some of the Pokemon you brought, I am curious to know as to why... like Slowking. Slowking didn't really do much here. I feel like Rotom would have given me so many more problems. It gave you Defog, it gave you Leaf Storm, it gave you Discharge and Thunderbolt, and it gave you Volt Switch. It could have given you Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot would have demolished me. That is the number one thing that my team is like, or not the number one thing, but one of the better things my team is good at is eating physical hits. Like my average defense stat, I was looking on the prep doc, and my highest stat average on my entire team is defense. And it averages out to a clean 100. So I've got some physically bulky Pokemon, and if you want to bring something special, I have to build for that. Any team with a special threat, right? Like my week 4 matchup versus J Scurv, I think last here, right? Terapagos, Darkrai. I'm boned. Those are special threats. My opponent already knows this. So yeah, or like Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen gives me so many issues on paper because I just don't have good specially defensive Pokemon. Or like Celesteela, but you know, when you go all in on special defense on Celesteela, it opens itself up to being physically weak, or just able to take less hits on both sides. But yeah, really good week 1 or week 2. I really enjoyed that. Going 2-0 with a +3 differential into week 2, being last in power rankings feels pretty nice. So yeah, maybe my power is just my opponents do not respect the team enough. And they just kind of view it, oh, it's last in PR, we don't have to take this game seriously. So I think that's going to be my biggest advantage for the rest of this season, is people undermining my team and not understanding how I like to play. Yes, I am slow, but damn, does Choice Scarf fix that real fast. But yeah, I will catch you guys for week 4. There won't be a week 3 video, most likely, due to my opponent for that leaving the league. If somebody picks up this team, if somebody picks up this goddamn demon of a team, then I'll probably make a video on that, about that game. It'll probably be a hard 6-0 with Delphox. Still struggling to find answers for it. Even though I'm not playing the game, I still want to be ready because there are 2 Mega Delphoxes in the league. Yeah, they were both for round 1 picks in both pools, so I have to be ready for it. But anyways, great game. It was fun playing CIQ. I appreciate it, and shout out to Pigeons again for Loki helping me win this entire damn thing, with helping me kind of do some proper hazard assessment, risk assessment into these Pokemon. So yeah, until then, week 4 video coming soon.